So, welcome back to Where in the World is Kaylee? I am today in Kris's apartment.
Hi!
So, I obviously am Kaylee. This is my fellow Canadian friend here, Kris.
She even let me this shirt today.
Yes.
So I didn't have one, but I love it.
Yes, I needed her to look more Canadian like me. So today, we are going to be talking about our favorite things, or like the things that we miss most about living in Canada. So kind of, if you want to just explain what you're doing here in Prague and how long you've been here.
So I've been here since September. I am an international student. I'm getting my master's degree here. So I'm going to be spending the next 2 years here.
So we actually both came September 2016, so we're coming up on a year each of being here. And there is quite a bit that I miss about Canada.
Yeah.
Alright, so we are going to go over the things that we most miss. So this is probably not a surprise to anybody who has been watching my channel for a while, but the number one thing that I miss most about Canada is the food. The food here is not necessarily the best food I've had while traveling, but not even just that, it's just I miss the very specific things, like I miss Taco Bell, I miss poutine. On Kris's channel, actually, we made poutine today. It was vegan poutine, so it was a little different than what I'm used to. But yeah, I just really miss the food. I miss like Taco Bell, Wendy's, just like the junk food. And
I miss bagels. Like of all things, I can miss bagels for some reason. Yeah.
I do too, and I feel like it's weird because I'm pretty sure they're Polish, and I don't know why we don't have them here.
I think they're from Montreal. Isn't there like a Montreal bagel? Isn't that like a thing?
Great Canadian bagel. Oh, delicious. I miss bagels too. And I feel like it's not necessarily like a Canadian thing. But because of Tim Hortons, it's very like, very much just, I'm very used to going and getting a bagel in the morning.
Definitely, yeah. Like everyone at my university, every morning they'll go to Tim's, they'll get a bagel, and they'll just get like a tea or like a coffee. That's like staple of university diet basically in Canada. Definitely.
Which, speaking of university, that is another thing you miss.
So for me, university is very different here. Like I talk about it more on my channel, but the main difference is here I feel that people don't care about their grades. And because the students don't care about the grades, the professors know that. So they don't put in a lot of effort, or they just give out grades very easily here. And because the professors do that, the employers here, they don't bother looking at your GPA, your grades. They only really look at that you have a degree and that's it. They don't check where it's from. So for me, that's very difficult because in Canada, in order to get an internship, you need to have like a 3.0 GPA. When you apply for your job, it's recommended that you put your GPA on. So in Canada, we're very grade focused, but here it's more, I guess, experience focused, and no one gives a crap about grades here at all.
Apparently I should have went to school here because I did not have a very good GPA.
Like here, like I will be studying my butt off, and my classmates, like my Czech classmates, will be like, what are you studying for? Like, why do you care so much? And I'm used to like being like, it's my grades, I have to care, but they just don't care here.
So I finally found something I have in common with Czech people.
So the first thing that comes to my mind when Kaylee asked me what I miss the most about Canada is definitely national parks. Because it's Canada's 150 this year, they made national parks totally free for people to enter. So I'm seeing all my friends going to these national parks, taking awesome photos, camping, canoeing, kayaking, everything for free. And while there are national parks here, there's just something so special about Canadian national parks. Firstly, they tend to be much, much larger. Actually, yesterday I was looking up national parks in Canada, and the national parks we have are like the size of the Netherlands. Like our national parks are huge, and there's so much to do, there's so much wilderness, and I really miss that here because I never really get a chance to go out to the wilderness here. The national parks just aren't the same. That's my spiel on national parks, but I really miss them a lot.
I actually spend a lot more time in parks now because I live across the street from a really big one, and I have a dog, which makes me spend a lot more time outside. But the next thing that I miss most about living in Canada is definitely the clothing shopping. I think I've mentioned this before also, but I don't like the clothing shopping here, and because of the taxes for importing that they have in the Czech Republic, everything is really, really expensive. So we were talking about this earlier, but like my favorite stores are Dean's. Loving Canada. But you have you can buy like a shirt and you don't necessarily have to love it. It costs you like $3 and it's cute enough you're gonna wear it a few times, and I really miss that because now it's like I'm spending, you know, like 15, 20 bucks for a shirt that I don't even really like, but I just like need to like literally put something on my body because it's frowned upon not to, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like the options are very limited. The prices are very, very expensive because we live on the Czech crown and there's a lot of taxes with importing, plus everything is priced towards the euro. So everything is really, really expensive here. And another thing about the clothing shopping, which is kind of unrelated but always makes me laugh, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I will see in stores, or people will be wearing it, where they're wearing shirts that have like sayings in English and they don't make sense, or like they're like grammatically incorrect, or like it's just something that like you'd never see on a shirt and it's just not like a sentence that makes sense. And I see that at stores kind of frequently, and it's kind of weird because they don't have sayings. Like you never see somebody wearing like a shirt with like Czech written on it. But yeah, it's kind of funny. They do have a lot of clothing, like their graphic tees are in English, but like poorly translated English, and it's very weird and funny to me.
And another thing with the clothing is that, like, for us it's so expensive, but for the Czechs it's even more expensive because Czechs, their wages are not a lot here, but they're still paying the same price as H&M would be anywhere in the world, which is crazy. I feel like the clothing should be much, much cheaper here considering how much they make, but it's not. It's the same price as if you went to Germany, Sweden, Netherlands. It's the same price, which to me is just, it's awful. I feel awful for like people making a Czech wage who want to buy these clothing.
It's true. It's expensive.
So for me, after national parks, the second thing on my list was definitely grocery stores. Sometimes I'll be in a grocery store here and I'll be like I really wish I was in Canada. And I don't day to day miss Canada, but it's just the little things like grocery shopping here that I do miss. Because I am a vegan, there's not a whole lot of vegan food here besides like the obvious choices, but there's not like a huge section dedicated to just plant-based food. In Canada, even in Nova Scotia, there's always 2 or 3 aisles just of vegan food or plant-based food. And even like the almond milk, the soy milk, it's so much cheaper in Canada than it is here. And I mean, this is just a problem. I don't know if you can like, if this really makes sense to you, but
no.
But plant-based food is so expensive here. I think the cheapest bottle of soy milk here is at least $3, whereas back home you could buy like a huge carton of it at Costco and it'll come out to like $1.50 for each thing. That's my problem. That's a big vegan problem here for me.
With grocery stores, my biggest issue with them is that you'll go to the same grocery store. Like I have been going to the exact same grocery store every single time since I moved here, and all of the time you'll go and you'll like find something that you really like, and then you go back and for like weeks they just don't restock it. So it's just very, very inconsistent. So like you'll go and you'll be like, okay, I need these like 3 basic things. Yesterday I went grocery shopping and they didn't have any bread. Like just no bread in the whole store. Like that's a pretty crazy thing to not have. So it's just like very inconsistent, and they just don't seem to like care when they run out of things, which is weird to me. So I just miss like going to a store and knowing that things are where, like, that you know where things are and that they're gonna have the things that you're looking for. And then the last thing that I miss about Canada, and I am from a very small city in Canada. We both are from small cities, different provinces, but small cities. And the one thing that I notice, even compared to a small city, like we live in the capital of the Czech Republic, and there is no diversity here. It is kind of...
There's very limited diversity.
Yes.
Like there are obvious populations of Vietnamese people, like immigrants, but it's nothing like Canada or Paris. There's nothing like that here.
No, but then also the way that they treat the immigrants here and the expats here, like even for me, I know I personally have been told to go back to America many times, and I've been told while wearing my Canada shirt to go back to America, which makes me laugh. But no, like it's, to me, the fact that like people will say that to me when I don't visibly look like I'm not from here. So to me, like, that's crazy, and especially in a country or in a city where there's such a big expat population, and there is, you know, it's a tourist city. It's crazy to me that people are not as accepting of non-Czech people here. It's something that I don't know if it's because this is kind of a newer tourist destination, that's why it's like this, but it is something that I definitely miss. I feel like in Canada, we were very, very accepting of other people. We're like, yeah, come on in, keep your religion, keep your language, just like.
And it's very hard for me because I'm so liberal, and you know, I study diplomacy, and then so I'm in this school where I'm studying diplomacy, different languages, other cultures and everything, and then I step outside and I see people openly bashing on Muslim people from Africa, even like people from like the Balkans. It's really disheartening, especially when other classmates in your classes feel the same way. It just doesn't make you feel great, and I think it's really sad, Obviously, the younger people here are more liberal, and the older people, just like in many other countries, they're used to like being under communism and everything, so it comes from that, but even in the younger people, there still are quite a large number of races here,
It's definitely, I know Canada's not perfect, but it is something that I think we do better than a lot of other places, and it's something that, being Canadian, the more that I travel, the more proud I am to be from a place that is so, not even necessarily that we're so diverse, but that we're accepting of the diversity of our country.
And the thing is, in Canada, like, I never thought about it. I was like, you're from a different country, cool, like, what's the problem about that? And I never truly realized it was a problem until I came here. Which, I don't know. I'm still very disheartened by it, but
It is definitely weird. But on that happy note, definitely make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching. I will definitely link Kris's channel down below and at the end of the video. And happy Canada Day.
Happy Canada Day, everyone. It's July 1st, so that's why we made these Canada-themed videos today. I think these are going to be going up in a couple weeks, so you're probably like, Canada Day already passed. But we did film them on Canada Day, we promise.
We did. So thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments down below if you are an expat and you found anything that you find like crazy different or that you missed from your home country. And definitely give me a big thumbs up. And as I said, I will link Kris and probably her video that we made where we made poutine. I will link that down below. Alright, bye.
Bye.